Hello everybody, it's Cape Rugby TV time, Wednesday night, and we bring you the very best of what's happening in the world of Western Province Club Rugby. Tonight it's a jam-packed show, but before we get started, let me just say thanks to Hisense, our official technical partner, Score Energy Drinks. They're on board with Western Province Club Rugby and of course on board with Cape Rugby TV, and they will be supporting the Easter Weekend Festival. We'll talk more about that a little bit later in the show this evening. Also, big thanks to Dulux Maitland at number 30 Coburg Road and Color Tone, your timber treatment specialist. And don't forget, savesasport.com if you want to get those discounts on all your rugby boots or your apparel or running shoes. We'll talk more about that a little bit later. There's a coupon code that gives you an opportunity to buy your products at a 20% discount. Let me introduce you to the panel this evening. At the moment, it's Lyndon Julius. Hello, Lyndon.
Hi, good evening, JP. Good evening, all the viewers out there. Yeah, it's like you said, it's an exciting show ahead tonight.
Yeah, no, we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, definitely.
How the baby's going?
They're doing good. They're doing good. Yeah, as much as 3-week-old babies are doing, so they're doing good. They're strong. Not running around yet, so
not yet. No, not yet.
Yeah,
we're getting the little mini rugby boots soon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Folks, coming up on the show tonight, we've got two matches for you. It was, of course, Union Mill up against Brackenfell. They played last week Wednesday, and that was at the high school in Melkbos. So Union and Mill and Brackenfell coming up a little bit later or during the show. And then, of course, All Saints, they travelled to Genadendal. So All Saints also in action, another travelling game. Remember, a lot of the coaches, at least a lot of the teams, even though they're not busy with formal fixtures, almost all of the teams are finding a way to find a game outside of the Cape Town municipal areas. Some teams, in fact, managing to play on school fields. And as you know, this weekend it is the Easter Weekend Rugby Festival. I think Langa are the hosts, so Langa and Busy Bees, and they'll be taking that Easter Weekend Festival starting on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. The Score Easter Weekend Festival with 23 teams coming from all around the country, and really celebrating their heritage in terms of the connection with those two teams. And we'll be talking to Alfred Kiwana from Busy Bees during the show. He's going to come and join us a little bit later, as well as Max Macapella from Young Ideas. He's the chairman coordinator of the tournament. So it'll be interesting to find out from them what is happening this Easter weekend. So that's going to be happening at CPUT, the old Pentec CPUT over this weekend, so it's a good place for you to get to. And then next week there's more rugby happening at the police fields in Pinelands. So definitely the clubs are finding different ways to engage with their counterparts and keep the rugby players active. Coming up for interviews this evening, we'll be speaking to Monty Dumont. He is, of course, at Union Mill. He's captaining at Union Mill. Ishmael Dolly, we haven't seen him on the show for a while. He's, of course, coaching at Union Mill. He'll be joining us. And we'll speak to Llewellyn from Belair. He's the captain of Brackenfell, and Tinus van Rensburg, also the coach at Brackenfell. All Saints, of course, they are playing against Genadendal, or did play against Genadendal, and there we'll speak to Vice Captain Romeo Janches, as well as the All Saints coach Jeremy Jansen. Meanwhile, Jonathan Boyce and Genadendal captain, we'll give them their credit as well, making sure that the Boland and Overberg clubs that are supporting Western Province support us. Let's take a look at the highlights from the first game now. Union Mill up against Brackenfell. Well, welcome back, everybody. Yes, of course, Brackenfell and Union Mill playing at Melkbos, I think the Melkbos High School. Lyndon, both these teams will be, of course, very disappointed at the fact that for them the Super League A season hasn't started. I mean, obviously, all rugby hasn't started. 1st of June is not that far away, but two teams that have now started to really show their merit in Super League A, and it would have been good for them to test each other.
It's I just get the sense that both these sides are like Fallsboy were like 4 or 5 seasons ago, where where the guys just starting to just get the groove, and you just feel that now with the season being postponed, it sort of like just stops them a bit. And I think you're right. I think Ishmael Dolly and the coach at Brackenfell, they just they will feel a bit outdone by this whole water crisis.
Yeah, I would imagine that the guys are kind of just getting their strategy going, and they're starting to think about the way up. And
I mean, Brackenfell had a brilliant season last year. I think the first year back in Super League A, everyone thought, or the year before, everyone thought that they weren't gonna step up to the plate, and they did brilliant. They ended up mid-table. They stunned a few of the bigger Super League A teams, Moulton as well. So I think that you spot on there. It's definitely these clubs will feel a bit, left
a little bit disappointed. Yeah,
pretty much disappointed. All clubs are, but I think the two of them, they probably felt it.
Right, folks. Let's take a look now at the second half. Of course, there's a score there, by the way, in the first half, 7-0 for Milnerton. So Milnerton were leading in the first half, but things started changing in the second half. Let's take a look and see what happened there. Welcome back. So there you see it from the table. So it's still kind of hard for me to connect. I mean, Brackenfell won that game 42 points to 14. Basically, it was a 42-7 game. Second half. I think it's still hard for me to connect if this is like a real game.
Yeah, I think we sort of, until we see the sort of league kicking in, or there's a definite that the league is going to be starting, because at this point we don't know if the 1st of June is actually going to, the league is going to kick off. I think players, a few of the coaches I've spoken to this week, they all are saying that it's tough to motivate their players when it comes to the matches. Like everything around the match preparation is fine, but I think playing like sort of just, I think Coach Tinus at halftime, Brackenfell, he probably had some stern words in that locker room to turn it around from 0 points in the first half to 42 points in the second half. So I think there's but like you said, since you can't connect the dots there to the matches.
Yeah, I still feel that like it's the guys.
You still feel it's January.
Are actually just playing for fun.
Yeah. But that's what rugby is about. So I think this is even if the season doesn't happen, I think that this season really showed what the club rugby community really can do.
Yeah.
After and before the 80 minutes, I think that there is definitely a silver lining in all of this.
Well, I also like the idea that that every time there's a game now, there's something new about it. Either we're playing in the West Coast or in Boland or in the Overberg, so you're getting to meet other people.
Yeah.
In this case, the Union Mill and Brackenfell went to go play at a school.
Yeah.
So there would have been an opportunity for school kids to see club rugby.
Yeah.
So there's all these new dynamics that I think is actually quite fantastic. And you told me earlier on a lot of clubs are now starting to look at farm fields.
Yeah.
Isn't that another interesting component?
That's definitely, because I think a few of the clubs, especially out in the Helderberg and Stellenbosch region, are stones throw away from privately owned farm property. And I think most of these players at these clubs, older players, they work on the farms. And I think if a farmer, identifies a piece of land, you have the clubs going in there, preparing this field, leveling it out, making sure that it's playable, but getting the municipality involved, because I know there's a few fields in Stellenbosch where the municipality actually help the farms put on portable toilets, the demarcation of the fields, getting the facilities maintained, and I think that's probably the way to go.
Yeah, I think we'll have a chat with Andre Gabriels over at the Stellenbosch, of course, Van der Stel. We'll speak to Andre Gabriels about getting fields. But yeah, folks, we're going to take an ad break. But before we go, Score Energy Drinks, of course, on board with Cape Rugby TV and with Western Province Club Rugby. And they're, of course, the primary sponsor to the Easter Weekend Rugby Festival that's happening at CRTV this weekend. 23 different teams come from all around the country to come and celebrate the heritage of rugby here in Cape Town, especially considering the fact that Langa is the host team this year. It's a round robin, so it comes around like every 23 years or so. So Langa, Busy Bees were the hosts about 2 or 3 years ago. We were there and there were thousands of spectators. So if you want to win yourself a case of Score Energy Drinks, right? You want to win yourself a case of Score Energy Drinks, 33090 is the number to text. Just SMS the word SCORE to 33090. Congratulations to last week's winner, Isak Levin. Isak, somebody from Cape Rugby TV, is going to be in touch with you shortly. You are this week's winner of a case of Score Energy Drinks. Folks, we're going to take an ad break, and when we come back from the ad break, we're speaking to Monty Dumond. He is the captain at Union Mill at the moment, as well as Ishmael Dolly, the coach, and Llewellyn van Blurk, the captain of Brackenfell, and Tinus van Rensburg, the coach at Brackenfell. All that and more after the break. Welcome back, everybody. Remember, Dulux Maitland is, of course, on board with Cape Rugby TV. If you want to get any of your paint supplies, then Dulux Maitland is at number 30 Coburg Road is the place to go to. And the nice thing about going down to Dulux Maitland is that once you've decided what it is that you want to do at your house or at your construction company, they will actually come out and spec the premises. They'll measure up the walls, they'll tell you exactly what kind of paint that you need, and they'll tell you exactly how much paint you need. And they'll go through the entire process with you. So it's fantastic to know that you're not going to spend any extra money more than, I mean, how many times do you go out and you buy a tin of paint, you paint the wall, and you've always got half a tin of paint left, and then you put it in the garage? I mean, that happens all the time. I don't know.
And there's every guy who's painted his own house, he's had a few tins of paint. I'm sure Jerome still he still has a few tins, because he was painting not too long ago. I think he has a few tins of paint standing around in his garage. I think there'll always be that 2 or 3, and then after a year you end up throwing out that paint when you spring clean for Christmas. Yeah.
Ek het altyd 'n halwe blikkie paint iewers. Ek weet nie wat, en ek weet dan the thing is I never know which wall it was meant for.
Yeah, and then you go like, okay,
I'll keep it one side for that wall.
Yeah.
And then you get a different shade.
And then
you put it on it.
And they go like, and then the wife goes like, please can you paint that wall for me? I got the paint inside. And you go there, where's the paint? It's not here.
And then it's got hard edges around. Okay, right, folks. We managed to speak to Monty Dumond. He was, of course, previously at Hamilton's, former provincial player and very, very good fly-off. A lot of players, teams at least, love the fact that if you've got Monty in your team, you've already got 20, 30 points on the board. I speak to Monty Dumond now. He is, of course, captain at Union Mill at the moment.
Yeah, it's awesome to be back after I really missed the game, especially club rugby in the Western Province. Glad to be back. Always interesting going to a new club, new faces, new culture. I've been enjoying the new club, awesome people, awesome environment to play rugby. So I see a great future at Union Mill. Playing wise, this is our second game for this season. We only played our first game 2 weeks ago. So fitness wise, yes, we are fit. Running wise, gym wise, we fit, but rugby-wise, I think we struggle at the moment because we need game time. And I mean, it's for every club. All the clubs are struggling to get matches. I think like all the clubs, I mean, we're training at the gym at the moment. We're trying to use the beach. So basically, you can only train on the beach and in parking lots. That's where we at the moment training with our tackies. Well, we'll take it game by game. We want to at least win all our home games, and we want to be competitive. We don't want to be just in the league hanging on. We want to be competitive and aiming for top 6.
Monty Dumont, of course, captain at Union Mill now, played at Hamilton's for quite a couple of seasons. Lyndon, what a geluk to have a player like him in any club.
Yeah, I think Ishmael and AD Jacobs, they probably were pushing for him for quite a while, because I know Monty played very good rugby at Hamilton's. When St. George's played at Hamilton's that day, Monty was one of the guys that came to chat to the boys afterwards. You know, you see this guy standing in front of you, you just put, like you said, 30 points, 40 points past you on the field, and the guys are having a nice chat, and that's what club rugby is about. And I think the way that Monty is fitting into the club rugby structure, not many professional players can do that. When they integrate back into amateur rugby or semi-professional rugby, there's not that line is very blurred, and I think this is what Monty's showing us, that it can be done. I think Morgan Newman is also one of the players that is doing it brilliantly. Morgan has been playing club rugby for as long as I can remember. But Morgan played.
When you get Monty in the team, I don't know about Morgan's kicking abilities. When you get Monty in the team, you know that's 30 points on the board.
Yeah, definitely.
20 points.
That's at least 20 points with a boot.
Yeah.
I mean, his visionary skills, his spatial awareness. It's an amazing player to have. And like you said, a guy like Monty Dumont, you guarantee 20 points already with a boot. So yeah.
All right, folks, we also managed to catch up with Ishmael Dolly. He's the coach at Milnerton. In a couple of minutes' time, we'll be joined by Max Mercapella from Young Ideas and Alfred Kawana, the PR for Busy Bees. They've got the Easter Weekend Rugby Festival coming up this weekend. They'll join us on the show during just before the end of the show. Stick around for that. But right now, let's catch up with Ishmael Dolly, coach at Milnerton.
Yeah, firstly, it's a great opportunity for us to be playing again. Playing a rugby game, it's very scarce within our city and in our province. But I think it was good to see that the boys were going out there and enjoying themselves. But all credit must go to Brackenfell. They did exceptionally well. They've completely outplayed us in all facets of the game. So it's back to the drawing board for us, literally, and see where we can fix our mistakes. Yeah, I think coaching, management, and the exec and the administration of the club plays a major role with regards to making sure that our guys are continuously being active. And we've got to think out of the box. Mountain hikes to training in a parking lot to doing CrossFit to doing beach sessions. These are all forming part of coaches' plans, within this past couple of months and a few months, next months going forward. So that's the only thing that we can do, and we've got to make the most of the situation. I mean, everyone's in the same situation, so we're just glad, and like I said, to have this opportunity to play again, it's absolutely gold for us. What was great is firstly thanks to Melkpost High for allowing us to use their facilities. They actually played Brackenfell High this morning, so it was nice to have some school games and then some club rugby afterwards. And if the high schools within the various areas within the Western Cape can open up their doors to clubs, it would be greatly appreciated, especially the ones that have fields that are suitable to be played. And I think clubs will really appreciate that extended branch of opportunity for them to extend and play on their fields.
Ishmael Dolly, coach at Union Mill, just talking to us a little bit about the relationship there between the clubs and the schools. Linden, listening to Ish there, he's talking.
Yeah.
He's talking now like a leader.
Yeah, and I think what he's mentioned there is very important. He said every club is in the same situation. So having a school where you can partner with and play, like you said, is gold right now. And I think, and seeing school rugby, it's also an opportunity for clubs to have a partnership link or startup with a school or a high school in the area. Then you have players that you can filter back. So then the parents know exactly the club culture, the club structure. They know the coaches, they know the players. So I think what Ishmael was saying there, it's good to find a school where a club can be playing at, and it's good for the club to also see a bit of school rugby.
Right, folks. Llewellyn van Blerk, captain of Brackenfell. We managed to speak to him after the game. It was a big game for Union Mill and Brackenfell as they played at the Melkbos High School, and a big thanks, of course, goes out to Melkbos High School for making their fields available, and I think fantastic interaction opportunity there between schools and clubs that we're looking for. We're looking for the feeder system from school to club. That's what how sport should work in South Africa. Llewellyn van Blerk, captain of Brackenfell.
Ja, dit is lekker om 'n bietjie op die veld te kom. Ek meen, ons is maar baie beperk met hoe ons kan oefen en uitvinding. Ons spandeer maar 'n bietjie tyd op die teerpad en so aan waar ons kan. En maar almal kom ook 'n bietjie doen 'n bietjie crossfit waar die ouens wat kan bywoon, maar dit is lekker op die veld te kom en dis 'n ander tipe fiksheid. Ja, ek dink die fiksheid lyk alright. Ek dink as die toestand 'n bietjie anders was en ons kon 'n bietjie die bal wyder versprei, altyd span 'n bietjie meer 'n running game kon speel, sou die fiksheid bietjie meer swaar gekry het. Dit was baie close game geweest, kon baie met die forward speel, so ek dink dit het baie gehelp in terme van die fiksheid ook, maar oor die algemeen dink ek die fiksheid lyk nie sleg nie. Ja, is baie goed. Ek meen ons daar ouer ouens wat by die klub bygekom het wat baie ervaring bring waar ander klas hulle gespeel het, en ook die jong ouetjies wat ek daai toe gesê het, jong ouetjies wat deurkom. Ons het die laaste 2 games of so het ons van die onder 20s wat ons 1 of 2 wat ons kon gebruik het by die seniors, en dan kry hulle ook daai ervaring en hulle bring 'n nuwe ander energy tot die veld en so dis lekker. Ja, ek moet sê dit is baie goed vir die klub. Ja, ek dink die beplanning vorentoe is hopelik kan ons binnekort vinnig op die velde kom en voluit kan begin oefen, en obviously as ons op die velde kom en die liga kan gebeur, wil ons sê ons wil mik vir daai top 6 spot, en dan van daar af kan enigiets gebeur.
Llewellyn van Blerk is the captain at Brackenfell. They're obviously happy with the guys. They're doing a lot of different types of training at the moment. Most of the guys doing a little bit of alternative fitness, CrossFit clearly being the chosen choice. But ultimately, it's functional fitness. Let's speak now to Brackenfell coach Tinus van Rensburg.
Ja, dis 'n lekker dag gewees vir ons. Is enige dag op die veld is 'n lekker dag, jy weet. Ons sukkel maar met die droogtes en die goedes, en dit is moeilik om te oefen en sulke dinge. So enige geleentheid wat ons kry om op 'n veld te wees, vat ons met albei hande aan. Ja, ons probeer maar, weet dis moeilik, soos ek sê, mense kan nie op die velde kom en so nie, maar weet mense dink maar buite die boks, doen 'n bietjie crossfit of werk in die parkeerterrein en sulke dinge. Jy weet, ek is dankbaar hierdie week het dit goed gelyk, die fiksheid. Verlede week het dit 'n bietjie swakker gelyk. So ek dink ook is 'n mindset, jy weet, is 'n ingesteldheid van die spelers. Maar ja, baie happy oor vandag. Ja, is moeilik om nou jouself te klassifiseer of te sê waar jy is. Weet dis maar in die beginstadiums van 'n seisoen en ook met almal wat maar sukkel om op die veld te kom. Dis moeilik om strukture in te oefen. Dis moeilik om te game plans en goeders te gaan. So ja, ek dink vir nou is dit goed, maar weet as die liga begin sal mense eers regtig weet waar jy is en waar jy staan. Ja, ons is bevoorreg, jy weet, soos ek laas ook gesê het, jy weet ons is 'n familieklub. Ons bou al vir die afgelope 3 jaar aan die storie. Jy weet, dit was weer lekker om 'n slag 4 spanne in die veld te kan stoot. Jy weet, dis as jy mense het getalle kyk dan sit oor die 100. Jy weet, vir my is dit 'n gesonde klub. Jy weet, ons probeer groei en ons probeer meer spelers kry, en ek dink ons is op die regte pad.
I think Tinus van Rensburg, they're very happy to say at the moment, Lyndon, that they're not used. It's hard for them to say where they are. I mean, how do you in a case like this? You can't really measure yourself.
But it's like you said earlier on, I think like in the case of Union Mill, you're seeing leader like Ishmael Dali's leadership skills coming before. I think Tinus is also very confident in the way in which he's motivated his players. The youngsters are there, so it's an ideal opportunity. You can look at it you can look at the glass, like you said a couple of weeks back. Look at the glass half full or the glass half empty, and I think most clubs are looking at it half full, and I think the clubs next year will be much better off for it, knowing that they can actually do a lot more than what they think they can do in terms of player recruitment. Yeah. Because clubs tend to think that traditionally you need to have money to recruit players, and we all know that that's not what we sort of push. And I think clubs will be able to see that it's about the heritage, it's about the tradition, and it's about the culture of the club that makes the club a strong one.
And what I really like now at the moment is it's also going to start forcing the clubs to go back to the concept of connecting to the schools in the area. You have to, those feeder schools must feed your club.
Yeah.
And we've got to go back to those days. I remember Villagers realized this about 2 years ago. They thought that everything was always going to be hunky-dory. And then they realized, hang on, we've got to go back to the roots and look at who played in these clubs before we came here. And where did the kids come from in the area? We've got to encourage those kids. We've got to visit those schools and bring them to the...
You know, despite Marty's huge player base, they still have a program that runs at Paul Ruiz that they go out, send players out to go and coach. St. George's as well, we go out to Rostov. So there's, you need to have, even if you have a huge player base and you know players are going to come at the beginning of the season, you still need to plant that seed and so that the players can come and keep them coming.
Well, every school has got a first team, a second team, and a third team. Those first, second, and third teams really should, after school, be playing first, second, and third at your club.
Exactly.
Anyway, folks, we'll take an ad break. When we come back from the break, we'll be taking a look at the game between All Saints and Genadendal. All Saints travelled to Genadendal over the weekend and had a lot of fun up there, but good to be following the guys. We'll be back after the break. Welcome back, everybody. It's Cape Rugby TV, and it's Wednesday night, and we talk about what happens in the world of Western Province Club Rugby. And who would have thought that if there is even a drought in the Western Cape, and you would imagine even with no games, that a rugby TV show still continues. And just goes to show that when you talk about the world of sport, it's not all about the points. There's a lot of different activities happening in the world of sport other than just field time. And that's what sport should be doing. That's how you bring a nation together. That's why I think Madiba said back in the day, sport has the ability to change a nation. And it's more than just scoring points. It's about interaction. It's about social cohesion. It's about value systems and belief systems, and really is about people, and I think that's what Cape Rugby focuses on. In fact, it's always been the Cape Rugby TV philosophy, is we focus on the people, we don't necessarily focus on the games. But although we do focus on the games to have a little bit of fun and make sure that we measure each other, a little bit of competition is always good. We managed to get down to Genadendal to watch All Saints up against Genadendal over the weekend. Well, there we go, folks. Genadendal showing that there's rugby happening all over the country, and they were up against All Saints. So All Saints travelled to Genadendal. Just big thanks to the clubs out there again, to Genadendal Rugby Club. If you guys are watching right now, and we know that you are because we are on DSTV channel 263. All the clips are also on YouTube and on Facebook. So even if you're watching now and you're watching on Facebook or you're watching on YouTube, big thanks to the guys from Genadendal. We really appreciate your support. We'll take a look now at the second half. Genadendal and All Saints. Right, there you go, folks. Genadendal up against All Saints, or should we say All Saints against Genadendal that travelled out there. Linden, what an awesome vibe. Rural clubs, there's that feeling of there's no other influences.
Yeah.
It's a real rugby fans who are just coming down the field to enjoy the game.
Yeah, and I think seeing the fans next to the field on a Saturday afternoon, seeing it packed, I think that is what club rugby players want to see, and certainly what the club rugby family and world want to see. I think, like you said, there's no influence from any other unsavory elements.
There's no plastic packets
There's
against
nothing.
fences.
Yeah, there's no air pollution because it's.
There's no city council to say you're not allowed to put up signage.
Yeah, there's no city council to say you can't play on the field. So these clubs definitely are definitely going the extra mile to help the Western Province. I think both unions now with Boland being indefinitely suspended or postponed and province up until the 1st of June.
Yeah.
I think seeing a fixture like Genadendal All Saints will definitely open up. Who knows? Maybe a cross union or cross provincial tournament.
Let's speak to All Saints Vice Captain Romeo Janches.
I was lekker positief hier aangekom. Lekker tripje in geweest. Die guys was heel positief. Voor mij persoonlijk was het een lekker lang tripje. En die vibe terwijl ons gereden tussen die mannen was lekker. So ek is aan blij was het positief hier aangekomen. Was het zo lekker vier tripje. Ik denk onze interplay is baie goed. Om van elkaar af te spelen. Support play is baie goed. Ons defense het een beetje gelek omdat we zwaar gekregen aan van die facetten. Het is een beetje in andere posities geweest waar we harder moeten teruggewerkt om te tackle. Maar ik denk als baie werk voor improvement en ons het baie goede dingen en baie slechte dingen. Maar ik denk ons kan dinsdag gaan terugkomen en ons het hard werken om aan te werken. Voor mij baie groot impact van ons kan nie games daar zo spelen. So dat maak die guys nogal 'n klein bietjie negatief onder mekaar, maar sy is verseker sy gaan volgende week speel. So baie van die guys kan oefen. Dinsdag kom hulle donderdag hier. Van hulle weet jy seker daar's 'n wedstryd Sarah gaan weg hier. En baie van die guys wil so fair travel. Maar so baie groot impak, maar ek dink dat die kan maar net ons rugby sterker maak. Omdat coach het nou meer opsies wat hy kan kies. Manne wat seker nie so in die first team toe, wat 'n bietjie meer exposure kry om hulle self in die first team te vestig. So hy't se positief en sy negatief. Ek dink die positief vir ons as 'n team is coach kan 'n bietjie meer diepte toets. En die negatief is dat alles manne nie kom nie, alles manne wat regular first team in die first team squad is daar is.
Romeo Janches, the vice captain at All Saints. Linden, he's been around a while. Definitely a stepper, a big guy, but you wouldn't think that he steps. I mean, we saw him playing in the sevens, goose stepping left and right.
He's very evasive and he's a very talented. He's very fleet-footed, like they say. He's also a very good leader.
Well, we're just listening to that now. The way that he is talking is obviously got leadership skills.
He knows exactly what is expected of the senior players at the club, and I think a lot of the coaches, along with the senior players, are the ones that keep the club and the players motivated. And I think Romeo is one of the guys for All Saints, Coach Jeremy Jansen and his charges.
Yeah, let's catch up now with Jeremy Jansen, as Linden just said.
Ja nee, kyk, op die oomblik moet sy maar vat wat sy kry, so ek dink as dan daar aan by die veld kom, die eerste ding wat hy ons vra is coach sê waar is ons next game, so ons moet elke game wat ons kan kry moet ons vat, geprep. Ja, ek dink dat grootste struikelblok is vir die coaches, because jy weet nie, sy kan prep, maar sy weet nie hoeveel ons gaan opdaag by oefening nie, maar die pluspunt was jy moet altyd voorbereid wees, so as jy players opdaag, dat sy net iets in plek kan sit. Kyk, rondom ons senior groep het ons 'n WhatsApp groep waar al die players in is, so ons try baie communicate met die ouens. Ons gebruik 'n klein deel van ons B-veld om te prepare. So ek dink ons is een van die clubs wat ek sien 'n baie goeie posisie is kom vir senior players op oefenveld. Ja, dan wat ons sê daar is, maar ons average about 22 players op oefenland wat vir my goed is considering die omstandighede waar ons klub tussen die oomblik bevind. Ek kan nog nie sê soos reg vir Super Liga B nie, maar die ouens, die players is baie eager om in die B-liga te speel. Die main focus is, sy wil nie te veel fitness doen nie, want dan tap jy ons energie uit teen die tyd van die league begin, maar sy wil ons skerp hou. So wanneer die informasie kry die league begin, dat sy mentally reg is om jou eerste league game af te skop.
Jeremy Jansen has been on Cape Rugby before. Lennon, he's obviously using all the tactics in the book there. Interesting to hear what he has to say.
Yeah, it's good to hear that they are exploring all avenues. You know, the mental. One thing that the coaches obviously have to look at is the mental frame of the players, especially the senior players, so that by the time that the league does kick in, that you are ready and your players are a mental sort of their mind is ready to take on the league. And I think Jeremy is one of those coaches that is he approaches the game very scientifically. He's very technical when it comes to his coaching, but he also understands that there's a culture that you need to maintain and you need to sort of have throughout your club and your players. And I think he's mentioned communication as a key, and I think that he sort of ticks all the boxes for Super League B club.
No, well, they certainly seem like they are. Let's speak now to other folks that are ticking the boxes, but they're ticking it out in the rural areas. In Genadendal, Jonathan Boyson is the captain, and Javi de Mon from Genadendal is the coach.
Ja, eerstens wil ik die hemelse Vader bedanken dat ons nog altijd die rugby kan beoefenen, weens die watertekort komen. Ik was dankbaar daarvoor, ons veld is in betere conditie en ons dank aan die ander spanne, wat misschien level 6 of zo is, wat een beetje erger dit af, wat ons dank aan hulle ook persoonlijk. Ik denk die guys het baie voor teruggekomen van die December holidays af, die pre-season, ons het een goede pre-season gehad. Ik weet die coaches sit in elke week na week. Ik denk ons het een beetje reën ook gekry daarvoor en die guys is baie committed en hulle sien uit na die goede uitdag. Ja, ik denk hy is ons grootste eerste in die klein dorpies, as die mense in die belangstelling. Ik weet ons daar baie toeskouers. Ek meen hy is ons eerste daar so sonder hulle. Ons speel van die hele mense daar buite, sommige van hulle kan nie die R10 bekostig nie, maar hulle kom uit en hulle support die guys. Ja, in Genadendal gemeenskap is man, die mense die van skole hulle sien al rugby as 'n rolmodel elke spelers. So dit gaan nie om watter loopbaan se beoefen nie, as 'n goeie rugby speel, dis wanneer die guys uitsien en dis wanneer die guys wil inploeg terug in die gemeenskap. Vorentoe van Genadendal ons mikpunt hierdie jaar, ons doelwit vir hierdie jaar is om natuurlik uitspele te speel goed uitdag en dan kyk ons na Gold Cup in volgende jaar.
Ja, ek is nogal impressed met die manne. Ons het 'n bietjie gesukkel, ons het baie werk gedoen. Pre-season het ons eintlik gesukkel. Veld bietjie hard geweest, maar ons veld is nog baie bitter. Tevrede met die game. Man, dis vreugde. Ons het 'n hele pad diepte. Ons het diepte hierso. En die manne is jonk. Ons manne sterk hierso van 21 na 31 toe. So die manne se gees is redelik reg. Ons het eintlik 'n bietjie disappointed dat die season nog nie begin het nie. Maar ons moet maar wag. Ons veld is baie beter. Bietjie reën gehad laas week. Ons gooi nou 'n bietjie water, so ons sien uit. Ja nee, ons het baie werk. Ons het nog baie werk by die span. Ek het 'n goeie pak forward. Maar die manne doen goed. Soos ek sê, ons kan nie wag vir die liga om te begin nie. Ons gaan maar aanhou met die vereniging speel. Ons het nou 'n nuwe kompetisie wat ons gaan speel van die 7de af, die Nova Cup. Wat 'n maatskappy voor gesponsor het vir 7 van ons spanne. Ons is een van die spanne, ons is maar die underdogs, omdat ons laas jaar amper laaste geëindig het in die liga. So, ons sien uit, ons wag vir die manne.
Jeremy Jansen is, of course, the coach at. We've got Jerome Parvat calling us at the moment. Jerome, jy is live op Cape Rugby TV. Bel jy vir 'n rede, meneer?
No. What time are we supposed to start?
We started already.
Folks, we've got Jerome Parvat is on the line with us here at the moment. He's just called into the show. Jerome, is jy terug van jou oorseese travels, meneer?
Ja, ek is al week terug in die land.
Ja, okay. En wanneer gaan jy jou weer terugkry op Cape Rugby? Kan jy jou volgende week inkry?
Ja, definitief.
Sê ons gou in 30 sekondes, Jerome, hoe gaan dit met jou span waarmee jy werk op 'n Woensdae aand?
Ja, het gaan goed. Ons het gespeel teen Boland Saterdag, Boland se Karibieke span. En was 'n oefenwedstryd, maar dit was goeie blootstelling vir die manne om te sien waar hulle is. So ons het nou 5 weke program gehad. Maar hulle het gym en veldsessies gedoen het en toe het ek nou vir hulle laat speel, maar hulle het hulle in die diepkant ingegooi teen 'n groot span. Maar dit was goed geweest. Elkie se oë was 'n bietjie groot, maar was goeie blootstelling vir hulle. So ons gaan nou kyk so 2 weke miskien vir nog 'n wedstryd vir hulle.
Nee, maar ek dink dit is fantasties wat jy daar doen, Jerome. Ons sal hopelik volgende week 'n bietjie pictures kry by jou en dan gesels ons met jou dan.
Ja, okay, JT.
Dankie, Jerome.
Ek was ook by die
ja.
En ek was ook by verlede week se game tussen Brackenfell en
Milnerton, ja.
Ja, maar dit was goeie rugby. Ek dink Brackenfell het my nogal 'n bietjie verras en Die veld was nie so goed nie, maar ons staan mos maar nou dit, maar ek dink op die dag het was goeie rugby en soos ek sê, ek dink Brackenfell moet opgehou word die jaar al het 'n redelike goeie span.
Dankie Jerome, ons praat weer met jou binnekort.
Okay, JP.
Okay.
Bye.
Jerome Parva there, folks, just quickly joining us. Nice to chat with him. And he says, Brackenfell is the team to keep an eye out for. Good to see that he's taking his boys traveling. Folks, we're going to take an ad break when we come back. In fact, before we go to the ad break, remember, SaveSA.com is on board with Cape Rugby TV. If you want to get yourself a 20% discount off everything online, from rugby boots to footwear and apparel, and then you can, that is, of course, you can get a 20% discount and free delivery anywhere in South Africa for any purchase above 750 Rand. 20% discount. Just use the coupon code Cape Rugby TV and you can buy fantastic brands such as Puma, Mizuno, Canterbury, New Balance and Asics. All those are available to you on the online store. Folks, when we come back from the break, we'll be catching up with Max Macapella from Young Ideas. He's, of course, the chairman of the organizing committee that is hosting the Easter Weekend Rugby Festival at CPUT this weekend. And Alfred Kiwana from Busy Bees PR. He's been talking to us many years now, and a big supporter of Cape Rugby TV. They're at the organisers of the Score tournament, the Easter Weekend tournament this weekend. That joining us after the break. In the meantime, let me say goodbye to Lyndon Julius.
Thanks for having me, JP. It's always good to be on the show, and I'm looking forward to maybe popping around to the Easter tournament at the CPT to saying hi to Max and to Alfred and the guys at Busy Bees.
Definitely, it's something you got to experience. There's going to be about 5,000 people there every day, and 23 teams from all around the country.
Yeah, and Score for making it possible.
Score's there. It's always going to be good. All right, folks, we'll take a break. We'll be back with Max and Alfred after the break. Welcome back, everybody. Cape Rugby TV. Nice to have you on board if you've just joined us. Remember, every week from 9 through to 10 on Wednesdays. With me now is Alfred Kiwana from Busy Bees and Max Macapella from Young Ideas. Alfred, welcome to Cape Rugby TV.
Good morning, dear JP.
Max, nice to have you on.
Yes, Enkosi.
All right, guys, you're going to have to now fill me in. It's Easter weekend rugby time. We've done this now for a few years. The last we held down here, Busy Bees was the host. Max, am I right?
Yes, 2016.
2016. You had about 6,000 people around the field every single day. Max, just tell us a little bit about the history of the Easter weekend rugby festival. It's coming up this weekend. You've got 23 odd teams, but this tournament's been going on for a long time, and there's a lot of heritage here.
Can I correct you? The clubs that are participating in this tournament are 36. Senior teams are 26. Then we've got junior teams, which is 6, and the ladies teams are 4.
All right, so you've got a whole lot of teams coming from all around the country.
Yes.
And what's the purpose of this tournament?
We've been doing this for years, since as early as 1992. Before that, we used to go to the Eastern Cape, for friendly matches then, but to be structured, I think it started in 1992, as we all know, when we're busy talking, doing unification at that time. So I still remember, by the time that Chris Hani died, we were in King Williamstown in Victoria Grounds, that year, playing a tournament there, So at that time, there were clubs coming from the mines, from all over the show, like in Natal, Northwest, Rustenburg, all over the show. So I think on those days, the rugby, I'm telling you, it was awesome.
Alfred, what can we expect? I mean, if there was such a good spirit, the Busy Bees at the Langa Rugby Field. Of course, this year you're not at the Langa Rugby Field because of water restrictions, but you're playing now at CPUT. What can the fans expect?
JP, first of all, let's be happy and be proud that the 95th anniversary of Busy Bee is happening. So we are still in Cape Town. So we're looking forward that the people will come from all directions of Cape Town. Hopefully we got the trains that will come down from Langa to Pentek. There is a station next to the field. We also arranged some taxis and asked some buses to help out to bring all our people and our fans and out to be behind our Western Cape teams when we're facing the rest of the country.
Max, let's go back to you. Let's just talk a little bit about the Cape Town teams.
Yes.
I mean, we know that you've got a lot of teams coming from around the country, and some of those teams are very good.
Yes.
There are a lot of really good teams around. But who are Cape Town teams that are playing? Who would you say are the guys that are going to challenge in this tournament?
The big guns, like the likes of BZB, Blue Jet, Laguna, Young Ideas, and others, I don't want to single, say that because we're all equal,
Alfred wants to say Blue Jets is going to win the tournament. Young Ideas, maybe.
Of course, there's no doubt about that.
So, and from upcountry, I mean, we got 11 different clubs from Cape Town. How many Cape Town clubs are playing?
I think there are 10 in total,
10
if
in
I'm
total.
not mistaken. Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Who would you say are the dangerous teams that are coming down from upcountry?
We're worried about the club coming from Transkei, which is Ngulu Zebras, because we know it's one of the oldest clubs there in the Eastern Cape.
Yeah.
But without, single, those clubs coming from PE, which is the Springboks, one of the oldest clubs there in that vicinity, and the Bombers.
Yeah.
And the likes of other clubs in the Eastern Cape, which is in Keskamouk, we call it Kobo Kobo,
Yeah.
So, and the Red Lion, which is the club that hosted the tournament last year, they were finalists, they won the tournament last year. So versus Young Ideas, it's going to be it's going to be a humdinger.
It's going to be the big one.
Yes, it's going to be a big one.
Alfred, you've got Score energy drinks on board. We know when Score, in fact, let's take a look at some of the jerseys. We know, whoa, hang on, here we go. All right, so this looks like a Busy Bees jersey to me. Yeah. Score energy drinks on board again there, folks. Really supporting rugby in Western Province. So this is the Busy Bees jersey, Alfred?
Yes, sir.
This is your new jersey, huh?
That's for the 95th anniversary is meant for that.
Yeah, 95th anniversary jersey. That's fantastic. All right, so we've got a busy. We'll have to make sure we get this jersey up on the back screen. And then who we got here?
Blue Jets.
Yeah, we got the Blue Jets jersey. All right, again, Score on the front. Now, I mean, Blue Jets. This is the ladies' jersey.
Yes.
So you got kids, you got ladies. I mean, you got a big event here.
Yes.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit more about your relationship here, and of course you guys have done a lot on the day. You've done a lot of water restriction saving. You've got sponsors involved. It's going to be quite exciting.
On our side, Mr. JP, we try to work hard as much as we can, but as you know, there was some another disasters with steering off away from the sponsors. So we struggle a little bit the year financial this year because people they've been caught by those disasters. But on our side, Score is behind us, the market is behind us, ShopRite is behind us, Asla and other groups are also coming on board. So we're looking like that is in Cape Town. Let's feel it is here. It's going to happen.
Max, just tell me a little bit about the heritage of this competition. If you say it goes back a few years now. Is there a select group? Because I remember you telling us not so long ago that this tournament has to rotate.
Yes.
So this rotates amongst the 20, 30 clubs that you've got. And so it's a long time before you get to see it back in Cape Town again, other than the other 10 clubs you've got in Cape Town.
It's exactly that was my cry in a council meeting that if BZB cannot host this tournament, just imagine we will wait another 25 years, because it's rotating. Next year we're going to Tlokwe, which is northwest of Rustenburg.
Yeah.
So that year we're going back to Eastern Cape. Then another year we came back to Cape Town. So it's rotating. So I think the razzmatazz in this tournament, I think is I don't know if you want even to mention, but in Koso was saying the thing is also and because in other words, everything, because the big guns they're coming with, they are good players, So,
well, I think you must speak more close now on the show to make sure that
people understand.
Yes.
Abantu bazosebenza train from Gwalanga and surrounding from Kailicha all over until up to Pentec station. And some they're going to use taxis. We already spoken to all no taxis, but Bagalanga in terms of make sure that they're going to open a road for the spectators, so that we make it easy for them to go to a stadium. Bobugela Iraq. Ithi ke londo le ingca izasokola, but ke our problem is that ingca apha Cape Town ayinkcenkceshelwa akukho manzi. But nevertheless, we are saying that to people they must come in numbers to celebrate with the PZB. Because izinqabile izinto ukuthi into oba zenzeke, but siyavuya ke into bakubekho amadoda afana noKhewana bangalaliyo for not for bona kwenye siqu for abantwana bethu yabona, because thina sayidlala ethi rugby phansi kwezo meko kwesasidlala kuyo. But we are very proud in terms of these proceedings. We are thankful, man. And another thing that we want to put on record is that, as we all know, we wanted to play in Langa, but because of some of unforeseen circumstances. But what is nice, the tournament is continuing.
It's
you know,
on,
so we
yeah.
continue on. So that's what we're thankful about.
Yeah, no, we're also at Cape Rugby very happy that it's on.
Yeah,
You know, we've supported this tournament now. Well, since Cape Rugby's been here, Alfred's always been in contact with us. And I must just say congratulations to both of you guys for doing such a fantastic administrative job. You know, Max, I mean, you've been doing this for a very long time, and Alfred, from a PR perspective, you are unstoppable. We see you all the time. You're always messaging us. You know, this is one of the things that some of the youngsters, in fact, some of the administrators can learn is this communication. Tell us where you are, what you're doing, and if you don't ask, you don't get. So Alfred's communication really has always been fantastic. So both of you guys, congratulations for sticking to your guns and making sure this tournament comes on.
Yes.
Amasobeka langeni sicela bonke abantu bakuthi baphume baze kulusupporta le team indala isuka ngo1923 yayingamajoyini amacala egusha xa ebizwa isizukulwana ke ngokunali ithuba lesifumene ngalizoqhamla enkosi.
Thanks, Alfred. Right, folks, just a quick one then. Some of the posters that came up over the weekend, we'll run through them quickly. It's the Easter Rugby tournament, also in Whistling Wheels. They are taking in on Bella Vista at the Bella Vista Sport Grounds. Then Tygerberg travel to Saldanha for the 29th. They will be playing away against Langebaan. And then, of course, it is Houston up against SK Warmers. You can find all these posters on Facebook. Elsie's River take on Porterville. Next week, we see Police take on a number of different teams. This is a festival of rugby at the Police Rugby Grounds, Atlantis and NTK and SK Warmers and Police, supporting the Missing Persons organisation. So that's a very interesting cause to support. And then, of course, Bredasdorp Rangers will be hosting their day against Rangers. So you can get out there this coming weekend, celebrating 100 years of rugby. And then, of course, it's Busy Bee's 95th anniversary Easter Rugby tournament. We just spoke about that to Alfred Kawana and Max Makapela, both hosting and organising the tournament. So it's the Busy Bee's 95th Easter Rugby tournament at CPUT this weekend. So fantastic opportunity for you to watch some fantastic rugby with more than 30 teams taking part at the Easter Weekend Rugby Festival this weekend at CPUT. Alfred, thanks for joining us on Cape Rugby, and we're looking forward to the action on the weekend.
I would like to see you there, JP, as always. So please come, and then you'll be surprised.
Max, and to you again, thanks for joining us. And once again, congratulations on putting on a good tournament. It's going to be great to watch the tournament on TV next week.
Yes, of course, JP. Without forgetting, you know, we want to thank SCORE, you know, for as a good Samaritan in terms of rescuing, you know, us, because all these years we were just playing the rugby for the love of the game. There was no sponsor, there was nothing. But I think we're very thankful, and I don't know how we can express, you know, for our gratitude in terms of.
Okay, I don't know how this is going to work out, but I'm going to say goodbye to you now, Max. I'm going to see.
But I'll treat as you become a busy bee man.
Whoa! Okay, I'm a busy bee now.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to become a
Blue Jet.
I'm going to become a Blue Jet. All right. I hope my microphone. Okay. I'm going to Busy Bees the 1 minute, and now Blue Jet.
Ladies.
The ladies the next time.
The ladies fit nicely. The ladies don't fit nicely.
That fits good. Yeah. All right, folks. That's a wrap from us here at Cape Rugby. In fact, this looks quite nice. I think maybe we changed our Cape Rugby kit. We'll see you again next week, same time, same place. Have a fantastic rugby weekend. Remember, we'll see you at CPUT. Bye-bye.